You can tell the American people that this is a vote to impeach upon the grounds of inciting violence and insurrection, but the American people see a double standard. They see a standard implied to those on the left who commit violence, and they see a standard to those applied to the right who commit violence. The American people see this, and they understand it. I've been here all of 1 week.
There were like 40,000 arrests of Black Lives Matter protesters, most of which were peaceful protesters.
I see lawmakers who were power seekers.
And randos on the street is not the same thing as the president, you fucking dumbass. You dunce.
The American people are watching to see how their elected officials respond at this moment in history. Will you vote to mend, or will you vote to further divide this country? I'm urging you to use this opportunity to be the leaders the American people are seeking for such a time as this.
Go back and talk some hard truths to your people. I'm going to do it. And we need to do a better job. And with that, I yield.
What's the hard truth? Donald Trump got his ass stomped.
Madam Speaker, let's be clear about one thing. If we were on the eve of a Republican president being sworn in, and his Democratic predecessor had said the same thing that this president said, and incited his followers, his mob, to descend up on the Capitol, we will be joining them, not making comparisons, because guess what? I don't care about no base. I care about this democracy and this country. And what happened the other day should never happen again. And we need to stand up and say and do the right thing.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I knew about a number of individuals that were planning a war on the Capitol, including killing police officers, and they shared the information, but nothing happened. The chief federal prosecutor in Washington stated he is pursuing conspiracy charges. The fact that IEDs were constructed in place informs me that there was pre-planning for portions of the tragic events last week. How does the president incite an attack that was pre-planned and already underway before his speech concluded? Now, I know my colleagues on the left
because he tweeted about it before, and then he did the speech
that they like to call an insurrection. But the facts are stubborn things.
He tweeted about it before because I think it would be wild,
the multiple lawless and violent events last summer, including
seconds.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In Michigan's 13th, we proudly speak truth to power, even in the face of a racist in chief. Those who incited an attack on the People's House do not get to talk about healing and unity. They have torn this country apart. They have stoked the fire and then handed the gasoline to Donald Trump. Dr. King once said, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension. It is in the presence of justice."
Rashida, baby.
We must embody those words. And we must understand that peace must be centered in truth and action. We cannot sit, Madam Chair, sit idly by after a violent attempted coup and allow lies and hate to continue. Today, we stand up for our constituents who continue to be harmed by this oppression.
Wishes to reserve the gentlewoman. Time has expired.
30 seconds to a new member of the House and a new member of the Judiciary Committee, the distinguished gentlelady from Missouri, Ms. Bush.
The gentlewoman from Missouri is recognized for 30 seconds.
Madam Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment against Donald J. Trump. If we fail to remove a white supremacist president who incited a white supremacist insurrection, it's communities like Missouri's 1st District that suffer the most. The 117th Congress must understand that we have a mandate to legislate in defense of Black lives. The first step in that process is to root out white supremacy, starting with impeaching the white supremacist in chief. Thank you, and I yield back.
From New York wishes to reserve the gentleman from Ohio.
Corey's in the house, baby.
Seeks recognition.
Every single Democrat has voted for impeachment. Every single Democrat has voted for impeachment.
The ayes are 232. The nays are 197. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Congratulations. That's it. What now?
Now that Tulsi Gabbard isn't in the freaking house, there's no one voting present on Trump impeachment. Every single Democrat has voted to impeach Trump, joined by 10 currently, the last I saw the count, 10 Republicans as well voted to impeach Trump. about 5% of the Republican
The chair
caucus.
announces that pursuant to Section 3A of
Oh, yeah. By the way, Donald Trump has been officially impeached. The House has impeached Donald Trump. There are 5 current votes outstanding, but we know for a fact that the entire Democratic caucus, joined by 10 Republicans, have voted, short one who hasn't voted yet. Donald Trump has been impeached. Donald Trump has been impeached twice. It is over. Donald Trump has been impeached. It will be going to the Senate for a trial, which requires 2/3 majority. Donald Trump, the only president to be impeached twice. I'm trying not to be a hopium guy, but Joe Biden's pick for labor secretary was once caught on a wiretap admitting that he threatened a development company for refusing to hire union workers. You know, I gotta tell you. This is why a Boston mayor, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad, you know? Maybe Joe is better than I thought. I find it sickeningly ironic that we try to scrub Trump from our government. We keep giving him political records that will only etch his name in the history books. Big sigh. Even a win doesn't feel like one. Dude, he's gonna be he's a president of the United States. He killed hundreds of thousands of Americans with his incompetent COVID-19 response. He's going to be in the history books as one of the biggest failures that's ever been as president of the United States. Unemployment rate was 4.7% when he entered office. It's going to leave it with 8% unemployment. He failed in every measurable way that you can measure a president. And he's a humiliating embarrassment and a fraud and a loser. Can Dems use emergency power to bring the Senate back into session? In order for the Senate to come back in session, there needs to be the consent of the majority leader and the minority leader. So Mitch McConnell would have to agree because he's currently the majority leader. And Mitch McConnell will remain majority leader until January 20th at noon when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are sworn in. Kamala Harris is the 51st vote, which will transfer power from Mitch McConnell to Chuck Schumer. And that will be January 20th at noon. That's when Mitch McConnell officially loses power.
That's Praxis.
I think this guy's just really horny. Because everyone on the upper level threats is a hot woman, an attractive woman. I was just happy to be considered, okay? Vosh not even on the list. Vosh not even on the list. Vosh not even on the list. Oh, poor Vosh.